Chocolate milk within 30 minutes of a workout delivers the ideal mix of fluids, carbs, and proteins to recharge the body the wholesome way. Chocolate milk, the original recovery drink. Hi there, my name is Drew Patey. I'm the head coach of Healthy Results Training, and in this week's tip, we want to talk about swim technique. You know, swimming is one of the most complicated sports out there. As you get some instruction or read books, you're going to find a million different ways to address this sport. But I want to give you 3 simple tips to work on right away that I guarantee you is going to help your swim technique. So first is breathing. Too often people hold their breath, and when they're turning to take their breath, they have to exhale and inhale. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to do a sinking drill. What that is you're going to sink yourself down to the bottom of the pool as you're exhaling to get yourself down there faster. As soon as you hit the bottom, give a good push off, come shooting back up to the top of the water. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna crest the water, and you're just gonna get up this high, and you're just gonna take a quick breath and go right back down. What it's gonna teach you to do is really blowing out long, but taking a quick breath at the top. Once you're feeling comfortable with that, then get into the water and start doing a length and working on your breathing. When you're breathing, first and foremost, when you turn your head, you should only be turning to create just maybe 1 or maybe just 2 goggles out of the water. You should be looking at the wall beside you. So as you're turning, the water level should be right around here. What we find with a lot of novice swimmers is the water level is about here. They're looking at the ceiling. So it's really important to only be looking across. The water will create a concave to be able to give you a little bow to sort of breathe in. So really focus on not turning your head, because the less you have to turn, the less you have to pause. And the less pausing you do, the faster you're going to swim. So it's really important to not turn your head too much. The other thing is that not having to be paused too long will be because you didn't have to exhale and inhale. So if you breathed out everything under the water as you turn your head, you could only have to focus on inhaling. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 goes along with this, and this is body position. We know that most novice swimmers go through the water like this. By just changing just ever so slightly your body position, getting your feet up, we know you're going to move through the water that much faster. So how to do it? So first and foremost, the breathing drill I just explained is going to really help that. If you are exhaling properly under the water, that's going to lower your chest in the water, and it's going to sink you down a little bit, which is then going to allow your feet to come up a little bit. So that's really the first step to getting a better body position. By not holding that breath, it's going to get rid of all that air in the lungs, which is going to make you a little less buoyant in the front end, allowing the feet a fighting chance to come up. The second thing is what I just said, the feet, you need to work on your kick. Too often people have a very infrequent kick, and it's not helping them. You need to learn to kick, so research that. Learn how to kick properly. It doesn't need to be strong. It's not about propulsion. It's about body position and timing. You're learning to kick to help get your body position proper, and you're learning to help the timing of the roll, okay? Third point I wanted to talk to you about today is going to be about the pull. Too often swimmers, and they're novice, you see them pushing downward. Now this is in conjunction with that body position we were just talking about, because if I go along here and I push down on the water, it's not propelling me forward, but it's also not, it's also taking my body position and it's rising me up in the water. Again, bringing my chest up high and allowing my feet to sink down low. So what do? As we enter the hand in, fingers first, then wrist, then elbow, we get into this position like this, where I can see my palm in the water, okay? From this position, all I need to do is just ever so slightly rotate it downward where I can see a little bit of my forearm. From this position, I just pull straight back. So in doing so, I create this much pull in my swim stroke. What do most people that are novice do? Their hands are in like this. First off, normally they're high in the water, so their fingertips are above their wrist. Their wrist is above their elbow. What they do is they lead with the elbow and they push down. Again, imagining this as a paddle. This is obviously, if I'm in a horizontal position, this is obviously not going to propel me, okay? So it's not going to be until my arm swings down to about here where I'm actually going to get that swinging action, that pulling action, which is only going to be about this wide, okay? So that's really important. And if you're one of those people that really pulls, I've seen in videos where people are even here, it means they're not even pulling until they get to about this phase here and pulling through. So their pull phase is right here. So really important, fingertips in, okay? Fingertips in, then wrist, then elbow, little bit of an arc. You can see your palm, okay? If your hand is up like this, you can't see it. You need to be able to see it like this. Then you just arc your hand ever so slightly. This is the creation of the catch, but that early vertical form. But don't get too caught up with that. Just the fact that you want to have a little bit of an arc and then pull straight back. You don't want to be worrying about any S patterns right now. You don't want to be worrying about total high early vertical form. Just keep it simple. Try to get a little bit of an arc and then pull straight back. If you can work the roll into that, that will help you, but we'll talk about that another week. So work on that and have a great week of training.